Hey everyone, buckle up, because today we're diving straight into Downton Abbey Season 2, Episode 5, and let me tell you, this one is a roller coaster of heartbreak, awkwardness, and the kind of emotional chaos only the Crawleys can deliver. Let's start where it hurts, the battlefield. It's 1918 and the war has been grinding on for years. We open with Matthew and William in the thick of it, and the scene wastes no time reminding us just how brutal this war really is. The Allies are finally breaking through, but the cost is massive. Over 100,000 soldiers dead or wounded. And guess what? Both Matthew and William are among the injured. From the moment we see them fall, you can just feel trouble brewing back at the Abbey. The tension cuts deep. Who's going to make it home, and in what condition? And then there's Lady Violet, doing what Lady Violet does best, quietly moving mountains while pretending she's just sipping tea. When she learns William is near death but not allowed to come home because he's not an officer, she basically says, "Watch me." She calls in every favor, contacts relatives she can't stand, and forces the issue until William is brought home. Classic Violet, stubborn, brilliant, and always 2 steps ahead. When William finally returns, he's not in good shape. His lungs are fatally injured and the doctors know he doesn't have much time. Everyone feels it. Even Thomas, who, surprisingly, shows a rare bit of compassion. He insists William deserves to come back, saying that a working lad like him has as much right to die in peace as any officer. For once, Thomas drops his snark and just acts like a human being. It's honestly refreshing. Then there's Daisy. Poor, confused Daisy. Her heart is pulled in every direction, and the pressure of doing the right thing nearly crushes her. William wants to marry her before he dies, partly so she'll have the widow's pension and partly because he truly loves her. Daisy doesn't want to lie. She cares for him, but not in that way. And it eats her alive. Mrs. Patmore, ever the practical one, urges her to go through with it, telling her it'll bring him peace. It's one of those gut-punch moments where no one is entirely right or wrong. The wedding scene is heartbreaking and strangely beautiful. William looks so fragile but so content. Daisy's trying to smile through her tears, and even Lady Violet softens. When it's all over, Daisy sits beside him until his last breath. A quiet, tragic moment that shows just how much compassion lives in that house, even amid all the drama. Meanwhile, Ethel's story takes a darker turn. She's hiding in one of the cottages, struggling to care for her baby. Mrs. Hughes secretly brings her food from the house, trying to help without letting anyone find out. Ethel's desperate. She writes letter after letter to Major Bryant, the baby's father, but he ignores every single one. When she finally begs Mrs. Hughes to deliver a letter in person, he refuses to even touch it. It's brutal. Ethel realizes she's truly on her own, and the heartbreak in that realization is so raw it's hard to watch. Back inside the Abbey, the household continues to change. A new maid, Jane, arrives, a widow with a son. She's quiet, humble, and grateful to work, but her presence stirs mixed feelings. The others aren't sure if hiring a woman with a child is proper, but they give her a chance. There's this sense that she might become important later. And let's be honest, in Downton, no one ever arrives without stirring something up, and just when you think things might settle down, Vera Bates slithers back into the story. Oh, Vera. She's out of money, out of patience, and out for revenge. She wants to sell Mary's old scandal, the one with Mr. Pamuk, to the newspapers, and she's not just aiming to hurt Mary. She wants to ruin John Bates and Anna too. She's convinced Anna helped cover it up. The pettiness is next level. Vera goes to Sir Richard Carlisle, the newspaper magnate who just so happens to be engaged to Mary. She tries to sell him the story, but Mary beats her to it. She confesses everything to him first. It's an intense, almost uncomfortable moment where Mary's vulnerability meets his ruthless ambition. He's furious but also impressed by her honesty. He buys Vera's silence, forcing her to sign an exclusivity agreement that locks the story away forever. When Vera realizes she's been played, she storms out, furious, and we just know this isn't over. Meanwhile, Matthew's injuries are devastating. The doctor says his spinal cord is damaged. He can't feel or move his legs, and he'll likely never walk again. In a time where a man's worth is tied to his ability to fight, work, or even perform as a husband, Matthew spirals. His guilt and shame consume him. In one of the episode's most emotional moments, Matthew breaks up with Lavinia, not because he doesn't love her, but because he believes she deserves better. He insists she should move on, that they can't have a real marriage now. It's heartbreaking to watch him decide her future for her, thinking he's being noble when really he's just broken. And then there's Mary. She surprises everyone by stepping up with quiet strength. There's a scene between Mary and Lavinia that's surprisingly tender. Two women who could have been rivals sharing understanding instead. Neither of them realizes the full implications of Matthew's injury, but both are trying to navigate the pain in their own way. It's understated but powerful. Elsewhere, Sybil and Branson continue their slow-burn tension. He's devastated by the news of the Romanovs' execution, something he believed would never happen. For him, it's a moral loss. The revolution he admired has turned violent, and it shakes his faith in his ideals. Sybil, ever the listener, tries to comfort him. The chemistry between them simmers quietly in the background, growing more undeniable with each scene. Back at the house, small moments reveal a lot about character growth. Thomas, for once, shows real empathy. O'Brien feels genuine regret after realizing her part in Vera's scheming. Even Robert shows rare gentleness, especially when comforting Cora, who's worn thin by the constant wave of tragedy. And then there's Anna and Bates. Their love story faces more storms. They plan to marry but can't do it in church because of his still pending divorce. Anna stays hopeful, always finding the light, but Vera's shadow looms over them. She's still furious and dangerous, and you can feel the threat hanging in the air. Through all this chaos, one thing stands out. Everyone at Downton is fighting their own quiet battle. For some, it's survival. For others, it's pride, love, or forgiveness. The war outside is winding down, but inside those walls, the emotional wars rage harder than ever. By the end of the episode, you're left breathless. William is gone. Daisy is now a widow, though she can't quite process what that means. Matthew faces life in a wheelchair, and Lavinia's heart is shattered but loyal. Mary is caught between compassion and confusion, and somewhere in the background, Vera Bates is still plotting. And yet, amid all that grief and uncertainty, there's still this strange sense of hope, that life somehow will keep going. Downton Abbey has this way of turning quiet moments into emotional earthquakes. A conversation, a look, a single act of kindness. They all echo through the halls. Episode 5 isn't just about loss, it's about resilience, about the people who keep moving forward even when everything around them falls apart. So when the music fades and the credits roll, you can't help but sit there for a minute, half in awe, half in disbelief, because somehow, even in the sadness, this episode feels alive.